This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, everyone. We are the Matador Marketers. My name is Brian Biodrowski.
My name is Joshua Winston.
My name is Ong Wu.
Hello, my name is Mohammed Hafizul.
And today we will be discussing Chapter 11, which is Closing the Buyer's Journey's Gaps. Next slide, please. And today, this is the agenda that we will be talking about. All right, so to start it off, so essentially what the Chapter 11 talks about is understanding your buyer's objectives. It doesn't matter necessarily how long you've been in the business for or how much you really understand your customer. Times change. Different consumers have different ideas of what a company has to offer. As a business owner or a manager, you have to understand that your customer just isn't thinking about you, unfortunately. The stages of the buyer's journey that are discussed later in this chapter will help us allow to reduce the buying link process, increase your chances of win rate, drive a higher campaign conversion rates, and lastly, cement a better brand image for your business. Next slide, please. So the first stage of the buyer's journey is the purchase trigger. And what the purchase trigger is having the buyer have a clear thought and urgency of what they need. You have to understand that some people have different reasons to purchase something. Some businesses have their own foundation in what they believe is the key selling point in making a sell. That is sort of the idea is false due to the fact that you have to fully understand your customer. For example, take a car dealership. When potential buyers walk into dealership doors, multiple customers go into a dealership with different reasons on why they need a car. Of course, there is price negotiations that play a role, but to be successful and converting on your sale, you should create a clear and concise message that your buyer could fully understand on why they should buy from you. A good practice to get a good understanding of your buyers are to perform a survey and try to look for their triggers and assumptions about the sellers. Next slide, please.
All right, stage 2 of the buyer's journey is solution discovery. There are many different options for a buyer to fulfill their needs. At this stage, buyers are not considering specific vendors or service providers, but they're thinking about different approaches they might take to solve their problem. For example, let's say I need my grass cut in my front yard. I might consider things like, should I do it myself? Should I pay my neighbor kids to do it? Should I get somebody off Craigslist, or should I just hire a professional? For each one of these approaches, I will weigh the pros and the cons for each. I will have to consider things like how long for each approach, how much it will cost for each one, and how much control I'll have over each. So to serve the buyer at this stage, you should focus on helping the buyer weigh the pros and the cons of different approaches rather than talking about yourself or your specific offering. For example, in this scenario, you will explain how much time you'll be saving by going with a professional gardener rather than cutting the grass yourself. Next slide, please. That takes us to stage 3, evaluation of options. At this stage in the buyer's journey, you can start talking about your offerings and how it differentiates from your competitors. Help your buyers to evaluate vendors by providing comparison checklists, total cost of ownership, and return on investment calculators. But more important is help your buyers convince the rest of their organization that you're the best choice by building them into a champion. You can think of a champion as like the president of your fan club for your product or service. You want them to be an influential internal advocate for you. You want to provide them with a champion kit. In champion kits, there are a series of tools designed to make it easier for you, for your influencer rather, to internally advocate and lobby for their organization to buy your product or service. it makes it easier for them to build business cases in your favor. But there are 4 components that should be in each champion kit. The first is a justification brief. This is an overview of the problem while the customer is facing and an outline of the various approaches to address the problem. It should include a recommendation for why your champion is advocating your solution as the best approach. The next component is the buyer's guide, which lists different approaches that should be considered. Then the next component is the value calculator, which helps your champion quantify the likely impact your solution will have on the business, like more money saved or like time saved, things of that nature. And the last component is the presentation template. You want to make it easy for your champion to present to their management team or to their leadership team and build a case and have them provide them with ready-to-use slides that they can personalize and showcase it as if they made it on their own.
Hi everyone, my name is Ong. Stage 4 negotiation party. The setting is going to take the lead during the stage of the buying process, but that does not mean marketing doesn't play a critical role. Recommend exploring strategic pipeline installation program to help scale, close deals, and improve conversion rate during the stage. Pipeline installation program, log no decision email nature, executive thank you program, outbound support call, on-site virtual references, special promotion to create urgency. The pipeline installation program was because we target opportunity that were likely to close. They simply need a reason to close on our time scale, not their own. The offer was of significant financial value and offer the champion a personal value while adding value to the company, which will likely have sent this personal that show anyway now sit on the entire price. I would like to pass to the Mohammed.
So the next stage is the delivery of promise. So in simple terms, after someone buys something from you, it's important to make them happy. So the customer support and making sure their order is delivered on time are very important. But marketing role also has to play another role. Instead of just meeting their basic needs, try to make them really happy with your product or service. You can communicate with them often, letting them know where their order is and making it easy for them to get updates. You can also welcome them to your community and make it easy for them to contact your organization. For big consumers who have made a significant investment in your company, you can send them a special celebration package. This can include things like catered lunch, gifts, or a company's logo, or for example, like a deserted bar, or even like balloons for the office. This will make them feel appreciated and help them celebrate their decision to work with you. And finally, and most importantly, you should help your consumers understand how to use what you're offering them and send them training materials, courses to get started, like tips and tricks, and also reminders about what they should do next. So I'll go ahead and pass it to Hank. Next slide, please.
This is advocacy. In today's buying and selling landscape, the importance of advocacy cannot be overlooked. Happy customers speaking on behalf of a committee are considered more trustworthy and more impactful to what happened prospective buyer make a decision. A whopping 92% of customer trust recommendation more than any other form of marketing. Contact is not good, not enough. You must create trust contact. The difference between contact and trust contact is not necessarily logical. There is some emotional at play when making any purchase, including conflict B2B say. Remember, your goal is to provide information, but simultaneously and the trust of your audience. Great content illuminate their personality and the people behind your content. List a real author of your ebook and white paper. Use video blog to bring training best practice, advice to life, and you real estate. Don't hire actor. Authenticity is obvious. Add your picture to your outbound email. Showcase employee on your website. Sign every email with a real person name. Consider video chat technology for online sales and support engagement. Send personality video instruction to bring your brand to life. Integrate the advocacy to real customer whenever possible to validate your claim and prove support by a third-party PR. I would like to pass again to Mohammed.
So yeah, so the next thing would be this is talking a little bit about the case study. So they can succeed by understanding the needs of the business and providing solutions, and they can grow by entering new markets where their specialized analytics could be used. They can face the competition from big companies known for their technology, so they need to change their brand and stand out. And in order to enter a new market, they should study the existing consumers and their decisions and choose to create new content. And it can be very challenging. So they can gradually develop and expand their content to gain new consumers. So I'll go ahead and pass it to Joshua. Next slide, please.
All right, everyone. To conclude this presentation, we will end it with a 3-question quiz. So the first question is, what is the second stage of the buyer's journey? It is actually C, solution discovery. Next slide, please. Question number 2. Which of the following is not one of the 4 components of the champion kit? It is actually B, negotiation/purchase. Next slide, please. Question number 3. What % of customers prefer trust as a form of marketing? It is D, 92%. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.